Ooh, that sun is bright. Yeah, outside just tilted the hat like that. Good morning. It's another beautiful, hot, sunny day in eastern North Carolina, and today just might kill me. Hold on. That's better. So, yeah, it's super bright and sunny out this morning, and it's currently about 80 degrees. Let's check the weather app here. Yes, 80 degrees. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to get up to 90 today, but it's going to feel like it's 100. And the people in the West, they've been dealing with high temperatures for a few weeks now. I mean, into the hundreds. It's been pretty brutal, but there's a difference between them and us here in eastern North Carolina. We have humidity, and it makes the air thick and unpleasant, and when you sweat, it doesn't evaporate, so you feel really, really, really hot. So today just might kill me, but before that happens, I'm going to mow the lawn. That's right, I'm going to take you with me. It's going to be a short video probably once I get done editing it, because let's be fair and honest, there's not much going on when you mow the lawn. You take your mowing device, whatever it may be, mechanical, electrical, powered, whatever. You take your mowing device, you cut your grass, Bob's your uncle. But I'm going to show you what I do with that grass and why, as I cut it or after I cut it. You'll see. Alright, so here's the grass, and I'm walking through the grass, and there's a small problem. The grass is still quite wet. What that means is, as I mow the grass, all the grass is going to stick in the chute that goes to the bagger. So, I'm going to wait an hour more, which probably means the temperature will be about 1,000,001 degrees. And yeah, today might kill me. We'll see. I'll hide in the shade back by the potting table. But Jason, you may ask, why? Why mow the lawn when it's so hot out? Because it needs it? Because down here in the south, in the heat and humidity, the grass is growing like nobody's business. So I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, I cut the lawn last. And then we had that tropical storm blow through, which didn't deliver much rain, but it did deliver some. And since then, we've had a couple of downpours. So all of this obviously makes the ground nice and moist, allows the grass to grow, and a lot of the grass actually seems to be going to seed, probably because it's stressed due to the heat, which is fine. It's what the plants do. So it has to be cut, and there's no real good time to cut it. I could wait till a very late afternoon, but it's still going to be very hot, so I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. So I might as well get it over with before 2 to 3 o'clock, which is when it's supposed to be, I think, 90, and the temperature will be about 100. Oh, while we're back here, let me show you this. There we go. The flower's a little faded, but it's still nice. And I have no idea what kind of daylily this is. I got this from a family member. Divided the plant into, I don't know, 20 or so daylilies. They all have to be planted out eventually. I don't actually know if I'll plant them out this year or maybe wait till next spring or so. We'll get there. These will get planted out someplace at some time. Privet hedges, hopefully they'll be going into the ground. Ooh, where are we? Probably by the end of the month when I start to get that rose garden all squared away. Not that's wood chips. Ignore that. You know where the rose garden is. And if you don't, go back and watch the videos. But I'm hoping that soon I can get to work on the rose garden. I'm still waiting for the grass that I plan on putting the beds into to cook off. Let me show you what I mean. This is where I'm going to be. We're in the standing. That's the vegetable garden. This is going to be the rose garden, and this is the first bed I'm working on, as I've mentioned before in the previous videos. So I put down this weed suppressing fabric. Not to suppress weeds, but to kill the grass underneath. So instead of digging up all that grass and doing the trenching and all this work, I'm going to kill the grass theoretically this way, and I'll show you that in a second. And then I'll add some more soil amendment to the ground. I'll fork it in, and then borders, fill, planting, which all should be coming up, and that'll be in the next portion of the rose garden video. So let me show you the dead grass, hopefully what's dead grass. So this is a good happy grass outside of the rose garden, and this is the dying grass that is underneath the black. Cover it with the weed suppressing fabric. It gets no sunlight, it starts to die off. This probably has another couple of weeks to go before it runs out of energy and then dies off, which is good because then I don't have to rototill it or flip it or do anything extraneous. So like I said, hopefully in the next few weeks all the grass under here will be dead. I can fork it over, add some soil amendments to it, and then start planting, hopefully. That mess right there, that hopefully by next spring I'll be digging into for fresh compost. That was where one of the trees were that got chopped down. The stump got ground, and that's where I'm left with this mess. Let me get closer. Let's see if the camera will focus. Yeah, so you can see a lot of wood chips. There's a lot more wood chips, and then there's some brush from the other corner of the garden that I started working on recently. If you haven't watched that video, go back, watch that video. I started basically chopping back a corner of the garden that will eventually become a new garden area, a new garden space. Another room perhaps. So anyways, this mess right here will get added to when those trees right there get chopped down, ground up, etc. Those wood chips will go here, and eventually, hopefully next spring, that will all become some nice compost. This one here, doing the same thing, and again I'll talk more about that later, and that hopefully will become compost for the rose garden. So as you can see, there's a lot going on, and yet there's not a lot going on. We're getting to the heights of summer, and yeah, generally people don't plant in the middle of the summer. I'll probably be doing I know I'm going to be doing some planting in the middle of the summer. I'm building out this garden here in eastern North Carolina. We'll go through all of that in a later video. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. This way you can follow along with my antics while I'm standing here. Look at that corn. Look at that corn. And there's more important. There's other thing. Watch. I have cobs growing. That's pretty exciting. Cobs. I've never grown corn before. Well, I tried actually in Sayville once, and it didn't work out too well, and I think I know why, but either way, I have cobs growing in corn. It's pretty cool. I'm going to show you some other things. I've never grown watermelon before, so that's pretty exciting. So they're coming along, and then there's some sad news which I have to report. I have no carrots. All the carrots are gone. I suspect I have no carrots because the birds got to the seedlings. So maybe this weekend, I meant to already do it already, but other things have been going on. So maybe this weekend I'll replant the carrots. And again, they're supposed to be warm weather carrots, so they're supposed to be able to tolerate the heat. But this time I'm going to put up bird netting because, yeah, I'm pretty sure the birds got the carrots, which I was not expecting, considering how well I feed the birds with bird seed. C'est la vie. So I'll replant, put up the bird netting, and if it gets wiped out again, then that tells me it must be bugs. But I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's the birds. So I'll replant, I'll put up the bird netting, and we'll go from there. It's close to 10 o'clock now. I think the temperature's around 80, 90 billion degrees with a humidity of about 75, which makes it feel like, I don't know, 200-300 billion. I'm gonna get to work. Helps if I turn the mower on. Okay, so as I stated before, we've all mown the lawn, unless of course you live someplace where you have no lawn. That's fine. And generally, you mow the lawn. You run it over either with a manual push mower or a gas mower, maybe an electric mower, or a big mower, ride-on, zero turn, whatever. But now, what do you do with your grass clippings? Do you mulch them in? Do you bag them for your local municipality to dispose of? Or do you put them in the compost bin? Grass clippings. In the bin. And I already have some eggshell and tomato and rotten tomato and some other stuff in here. And of course, I'll keep adding all that stuff in here as well. All right, and then I'm going to show you the other thing that I do with grass clippings once I get more grass clippings. Let's go get more grass clippings. The other thing I do with it is basically the same thing as I did over in the compost bins. I'm going to use it as compost here in the rose garden. And I'm just going to add it to this giant pile, which I'll also add wood chips to, twigs, branches. It'll all rot down for next year, and it's going to be used next year. That's the goal of the plant. Believe it or not, by tomorrow that'll all be brown. The heat's pretty intense here. So, and that sun, let me tell you, that sun, woo! The last thing I do with my grass clippings is, I'll show you now. I use it as a mulch in the beds. Helps retain the moisture. It's a free resource. And as it breaks down, it adds nitrogen to the soil, or so I'm told. I'll show you something else. This bed here is comprised of wood chips and grass clippings. In fact, I have to put another layer of wood chips on top of this. And then on top of that, I'll add more grass clippings. And then hopefully by next year, it'll be ready to plant. Look at that, I wasn't even recording. I did a whole thing rambling on and I wasn't even recording. I'm a terrible YouTuber. That's going to wrap it up for today. I'm not going to show you the rest of me mowing the lawn. Mowing the lawn is probably one of the more boring and tedious jobs to do in the garden, but it's something that needs to get done if we want to maintain the look of our property, the health of our lawns, and in my case, shorter grass means less ticks. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. You never know what new antics I'm going to get up to next. There are more interesting and exciting things coming down the road. I'm building the garden here in eastern North Carolina, so hit that subscribe button to follow along. If you haven't clicked the bell icon, please click that bell icon. This way you'll be notified of when I do post up a new video. Otherwise YouTube won't tell you because they're horrible like that. If you don't follow me on Instagram, give a follow on Instagram. I'll probably post it right about here. And I often post the pictures there that you won't see here on YouTube. I try to keep the content slightly different and fresh. And if you'd like to support the channel, I have some merch that you could buy. And maybe, you know, if you buy a mug, I could then buy a packet of seeds. If you buy a t-shirt, maybe I can buy 2 packets of seeds. Maybe a small plant on clearance. I don't know. Go check it out. Links below. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.